Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Melody of the Maelstrom, where a bunch of real-life bards play Dungeons and Dragons. One small housekeeping thing. Unfortunately, the individual that was playing Rugs has unfortunately had to step back from the game. We wish them everything in life, and we hope that at least they can watch, and we wish them well. And it's an unfortunate circumstance, but unfortunately, life does take precedence mostly over D&D. So we love you and we miss you, and we wish you all the best. Okay, and so before we roll the starting titles, we do have a few sponsors that we need to shout out. The first being D&D Beyond. If you want to have all of your resources conveniently in one place and you hate math, look no further. D&D Beyond has all of the digital resources you could possibly need, including books, dice, and the ability to homebrew to your heart's content, all from your laptop or phone. Our second sponsor is Effects May Vary, an awesome local band from Newmarket, Ontario, and we specialize in making sure you always have your daily prescription for hard rock. Feel free to listen to our music on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you are most comfortable listening to your favorite tunes. And feel free to follow us on Facebook and sorry. Feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for show dates and announcements. And as always, individual effects may vary. There is also our Patreon, where we have a tier for every level of generosity, and one includes being shouted out at the end of this game as well as all of the others. Or, if you're feeling extremely generous, you can get voice acting lessons with one of the talented players in one of the other games. And of course, we also have merch. If you want a sweater, a shirt, or maybe even a mouse pad with that awesome Dire Bear logo, go ahead and check out our merch page where you can find whatever it is that your heart desires. And with all of those ad reads out of the way, let's get those titles rolling. So, the last we left off, our intrepid heroes found themselves in a very violent crime scene. And before they could explain, they were forced to go toe to toe with Nyx, the angry barbarian and daughter of the dead woman. There was an altercation, some blood was drawn, and a large bear made an appearance before the party managed to finally calm Nyx down. She began to mourn the loss of her mother, the Colonel. The party began to investigate where Ruggs, as well as the assassin, had gone. In their investigation, they found that things were missing from the Colonel's office. The footprints of the perpetrator had entirely disappeared, and all of the guards had been out in the city putting out a fire the Colonel herself had ordered them to deal with. After having sent for more soldiers, we have just left off with Bavidius pondering about a missing horn and what it could possibly have to do with the sudden death of the Colonel. That's precisely where we left off. Bavidius, you had just emerged from the Colonel's office while Nyx is still very visibly and audibly mourning the loss of her mother, and you have found what you couldn't find, which is precisely what you are currently pondering over, is this very large missing horn.
Any of the rest of the party returned from below yet?
So essentially, the rest of the party is out by the front gate of the fort. So you guys can start making your way back as Turmeric kind of rushes past you, not saying particularly much. He looks very stressed out. Probably righteously so.
Wonder where he's going so fast.
I did kind of put the fear of the cow god in him.
You did. No, you just put the fear of every god in that poor man. He's he went from having a jaunty evening to having his shit absolutely fucked.
Well, I'll ponder the loss of this horn, and try and recall any knowledge I might have of some special horn that would be kept in a locked drawer that the colonel might have possessed.
Okay, so you did already make that roll.
I know. I'm aware of the roll. I'm aware of the result.
Yeah.
I just, in character, I'll be waiting for the rest of the party to fill them in on what I've discovered.
Okay, so what is the rest of the party currently doing?
I am hanging. I'm hanging by both of us and following him around to
So
make sure.
okay.
Well, in that case, I'll turn to Sir Domino and I'll tell him, our sparring partner still needs some time alone. However, she has permitted me to take a look around, and I discovered that whatever the thief may have been after was in a locked compartment in the colonel's desk. There seems to be some sort of missing horn, and no evidence of any other accoutrement in the desk that I could identify. However, the thief did a very painstaking but rushed job to try and conceal specifically what they had taken.
Well, it seems to me our perpetrator is much more than a thief to have the power to slay your commander so efficiently. Perhaps once the daughter has had a chance to mourn, you may question her about the horn that may be missing.
A wise course of action, friend.
That's why I'm here.
I'll nod graciously and appreciatively.
I will go to say some more blessings over the fallen body. Quietly, not disturbing the daughter.
Certainly try.
I'll just kind of make a gesture as he goes into the room and be like, all right.
So you you walk into the room. You're just kind of waltzing in. You're not really trying to be stealthy or anything.
No, I'm not trying to be stealthy.
So essentially she hears you coming because you're also in like full armor. And she doesn't turn around, she doesn't look at you, but you can see all of the muscles in like the backs of her shoulders and her back just tense up.
All right, I'll leave her to her peace and close the door.
Doesn't have to say anything. She's just like, you're like, you know what?
That's fine.
I'll be back. It's okay.
I see by your swift return that your wisdom exceeds even what I had believed.
Well, there's a time for everything. This is not the time.
Quite so, my friend.
She's had a pretty grisly affair, so.
Oh, grisly affair, eh?
Oh,
Guns. I love how you focused on affair rather than the bear pun. Like, that was a perfectly acceptable
rather
bear pun.
grisly.
Come on, you know where my head's gonna go.
I know where your head's going. I could have used another word, but no, that was the first one that popped in there. All right.
As the married woman.
You can say it's a grisly affair. It doesn't have to. A grisly affair is like a situation. It's a fuck off.
Charlotte and a bear sitting in a tree.
Doing nothing because you got to sit really
Screaming for
still
her
if you're in a
life
tree with
because
a
the
bear.
bear likes humans.
Trying to find my pepper spray, and I don't fucking have it. Oh my god, I'm gonna freaking die. All right. So what's the rest of the party doing?
I believe Rendell and who's our new friend? My apologies.
Talon.
Sorry?
Talon.
Kalen. That's right. Talon.
T.
Yes. Rendell and Talon and I were at the city gates, or at the gates of the garrison, trying to decide whether or not we were going to go see what was going on with that fire, I believe.
I think we should. But we should probably get Bovidius and Domino.
No, I've always said, like, split the party. It's fine.
No, I know better.
What? No, I'm just saying, like, what could possibly go wrong?
Oh no, I don't know.
Well, in the spirit of role playing, I feel like I should play my character, and I think I should go alone.
Okay.
I can investigate on my own
You can
and
certainly try, yeah.
come back. Yeah.
So as everybody kind of starts making their way back towards the barracks to meet up with Vividius, you kind of just split off?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Okay.
gonna roll a perception check. See if I know.
So that would be your perception versus your stealth, Fidget.
Okay, so it's a contested roll?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okie dokie.
Can't really avoid that one, so.
Well, it's a 9. It's a 9. So whatever he gets, as long as whatever he gets is higher, I'm screwed.
Sorry, one moment. I have to search through my character because I'm not that proficient yet. Okay, and I rolled a 10.
Wait a minute. I have to check my thing. I have to check my character now.
With just my passive perception, I would still notice him missing.
Yep.
Yeah, I think.
Well, so
I
you'd
think
notice
I'm the
him
same way.
missing. You wouldn't see him go.
Sorry, give me a second here. Jeez. Way to go, Rob. Skills.
This is the best part of the early sessions.
Oh, so I get an 11 altogether.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, you see,
So close.
you see me skip away.
So you kind of like he starts kind of just like taking one step forwards and one step to the side, and he's just kind of walking on a slight diagonal away from the party.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let Rendell know. I believe our gnome is breaking off from the group, so to speak.
I'm over near the wall, just kind of like, because I would have noticed you noticing. So I'm over by the wall, and I'm just like, man,
Did they see me?
strange architecture, you know.
I just wanted to check out the masonry, obviously. That's what I was.
My grandfather was a bricklayer. I just
Tastes slightly salty, in case anybody wanted to know.
Yep. Smells like brick. Mm.
Damn brick sniffers.
Salty, you say?
Randall will cock his head at where Talon has gone off to. Would just say, well, we'll be here when you get back.
I hope so.
Have fun, I suppose.
I don't know if there's going to be very much fun. Probably burnt bodies and stuff. But someone's got to find out what's going on.
Fun is subjective.
I guess whoever lit it had some fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can find out who it was. I said whoever lit it had some fun, but hopefully, I can find out who that was.
Well, be careful.
Always. Yeah, and I guess I'll depart. I'm going to be careful. So,
Okay.
I guess let me know if I need to roll some stealth checks. I'm not looking to hide from anybody, but I'm also not looking to be conspicuous.
Okay. Yeah, that warrants another stealth check
All right, cool.
to make sure you're not catching anybody's attention by being
For sure.
overtly obnoxious in the moment.
Dun 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 dun.
Like full Kronk going through the city trying to get rid of the bag. Is he doing his own soundtrack?
I rolled 11 in total,
Okay.
so I'm not killing it.
So you're not killing it, but you're also not attracting undue attention to yourself, which is precisely kind of where you wanted to be.
Mhm.
So you don't have to actively try and hide and dart between the shadows and everything, but you're also, not drawing any attention towards yourself, which is pretty much the perfect, that's honestly the perfect role for what you wanted.
Nice.
So okay, so you make your way out of the gates and back into the merchant district of the city. Go ahead and give me a perception check whilst you're kind of
Sure.
going out.
And the hunt continues. All right, this one should be quick. Ooh, that's not great. Haha. I rolled a 2, and I get -1.
So that's
So-
okay.
Whoa, stars.
I'm a mesh. Yep. So, unfortunately, tonight is a particularly cloudy night. And the sky is kind of blotted out with all of these thick gray clouds that sort of mask any traces of smoke that you could really look for on the horizon. So you can't really determine which direction it is you need to go, because where there is smoke, there was probably fire, but unfortunately you can't see any smoke.
Wow. Are there any guards people that would be running to and fro that I might be able to follow?
You rolled a 1. So I mean, it's sort of there is so much going on right now. It is hard to focus on one particular thing, because as you're kind of scanning the horizon trying to see smoke, you are also a small creature and there are a lot of inebriated people around. So
That's
essentially
true.
you're trying to see and like get up and see it, and you're just seeing like trying to thread between people's legs, and one person tries to act like he doesn't try, but he accidentally almost steps on you, and you're like trying to dart back and forth and like maybe climb up onto something, but then everybody's getting in your way, and like just a bunch of drunk people stumbling around making noise, and so you can't really see anything because you are trying so hard not to be stepped on, essentially.
Okay. I'm gonna try and struggle to get someone's attention, so I can ask directions.
Okay. So do you look for anybody in particular, or you just kind of gonna bap the first leg that goes past you?
If I notice guardsman armor, or I notice a store owner or a little shop that's open, I might duck in and just, excuse me, I heard there was a fire at a tavern. I'm afraid that it might be the one that I'm staying in tonight. Do you know the name of it and what direction it is?
Okay, so you kind of dart out of the throng of drunken people who are like drunkenly singing just entirely off key. And you dart into this little store, and you open the door and you hear the like ding ding of you emerging into this area, and you can see that it's a clothing store of sorts. But all of the shelves are just lined with balls of yarn, and like all of the clothing that's on display is 1 crocheted and 2 for dogs. And there's this little old gnomish woman, and she's got this pair of half moon glasses just perched on her nose, and this like long gray hair that kind of just, it's much longer than she is tall. So she's sitting in this little chair, and it's just kind of draped like Rapunzel like just around her chair, and it's braided and just this beautiful shade of gray. And she kind of looks up at you over her glasses. Just, "Oh, I'm sorry, dear. Is there something I could help you with? You're gonna have to come closer. My hearing is just not what it used to be."
Hello, ma'am. My name is Fidget.
You don't need to yell, Fidget. Just come
Sorry.
a little closer.
Sorry. I heard there was a fire at a tavern tonight. And I'm worried that it might be my tavern, but I'm new to town. Do you know what the name of that? Did you hear about this at all?
I've heard a little bit. I admit I'm not as with the times as I used to be. You see, about 100 years ago, I was very spry and I was very with the times. But as the many hundreds of years pass, it's a little hard to keep up with all of you youngins these days. And as she's talking, she is like crocheting something. It appears to be a small sweater.
I'm a patient man.
I'm sorry. You said tavern fire. Interesting. Yes, I did hear a little bit of a ruckus coming possibly from the east. Do you remember the name of your tavern, dearie?
The Crooked Horn, I think.
Are you sure? You haven't had anything to...
I had a couple, and I think there was some good halfling weed traveling around in the tavern too.
Oh, don't worry, dearie. Let me call my grandson for you. He can show you around. And so she's like turns, and she's like, Nettle, dear, could you please come out here and help your grandmother? And you are surprised to see a human male just emerge from the back of the store. And he's got this like mop of kind of like brownish reddish hair and like a full thick beard. And he appears to be pretty young for a human. He's around like 16 or so. And he kind of looks over and he says, Hey, Granny, sorry. Yeah, I was just cleaning up in the back. What can I help you with? And she turns to him, she says, Oh, dear, I need you to show this nice young gentleman around. He's very worried that his tavern may have unfortunately burned down. And the 16-year-old's kind of like, Okay, Granny. He said, Don't worry, dear. Also, before you go, my lovey, would you like a sandwich or some soup?
No, that's okay. I might have eaten something strange earlier, and I'm a little nervous now.
Okay, I'm just, a little bit of food always helps with the inebriation, Anyways, I'm not going to force you. I know you youngins like to party, as
Thank you, ma'am.
always say. I see, I can still be hip.
I look at Nettle, and I'm just like...
He kind of gives you the look like... and he's like, Okay, Granny, I will show him around, okay? And he's like, Oh, you're such a sweet boy. I'll give you some chocolates when you come back. He's like, Okay, Granny. And so kind of like walks past you and he's like, and goes out the front of the store.
So, grandma, eh?
Yeah. Adopted.
Yep. I know the feeling.
Yeah. I mean, she's really nice. I do love her, but it's sometimes
it's the dog clothes.
You
right?
reach it's the dog clothes. It's totally the dog clothes. She is very good at crocheting, but the only thing, I asked her for a hat once, and she looked at me like I had just summoned a demon in her store. Like, I mean, people buy them, I guess, but I don't know. I don't understand. But when you reach, about 400 years or so, you stop giving a fuck about pretty much everything. So
yeah, I'm excited for that day for me.
I'm probably never going to be 400, so I guess I'll just live vicariously through you.
It's not for long, right?
I can't even drink yet, man.
Just enjoy what you got. Speaking of, I think all my stuff got burned to the ground.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Do you remember the name of the tavern, or you're kind of new here?
Don't.
Didn't. Okay, yeah. So you should probably remember.
It's
that
been
for-
quite the party today.
I can't wait until I'm old enough.
It's great.
I mean, she has a little liquor cabinet that, like, sometimes, like, take a little sip and pour a little water in it, and I don't think she notices.
While we're talking, I make note of where we are. I'm coming back. This guy needs to have a little fun. Grandma's ruining his life. Yeah. Gotta help this dude out.
I know I'm not there, but I vote we adopt Nettle.
Yeah.
She boils her chicken. Like, who does that? And he just like
Oh
starts.
no!
starts leaving.
I'll follow him.
No spices, nothing. Just plain boiled chicken and like broccoli. Really,
Oh.
it's. Anywho, I love her dearly, but anywho, so you said there was a fire?
Yeah, but I don't really know town that well, and I can't really see, past people's butts most of the time.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to hold on? And he like, do you mind? And he kind of motions down, like he does the like he's about to reach down and pick you up.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, I totally get it. It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Just
fine.
do it.
All right.
It's all
And so he picks you up and like kind of places you on his shoulder. Go ahead and roll me another perception check now that you have a different vantage point essentially, and I will roll one for him as well.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm so terrible today. I just rolled a 4.
That, you know what? It's okay because he rolled a 16. So
Okay.
so essentially you
Can I
kind
take
of like.
10?
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. You didn't use your advantage last time, did you?
Oh no, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
So go ahead and use it now.
I'll roll
There you
one more
go.
time, and it'll be less for sure.
that is
I rolled a
sometimes
7.
that is sometimes how it be. Yep.
Yeah.
So, essentially, you're still very distracted now by all of the drunk people that are still kind of bustling about and like jostling this like poor teenager who's trying to keep you balanced on his shoulder now. And now you're in a precarious position. You kind of gotta like hold on, but like trying to figure out where to hold on because you don't want to grab him by the ears or anything. But like you don't want to fall off.
I got a good fistful of hair. We're good.
Oh yeah, just he's got a decent amount. Oh, grab his beard. I'm sure he'll love that.
No.
So he kind of and he points off to the west. And now that he points it out, you can see the small plume of like the reason you couldn't see it is because it's like this jet black like acrid kind of smoke, and it just once it goes up over the lantern light, it just disappears into the rest of the sky. So it is pretty hard to see in the first place.
This would probably cause me a bit of a flashback. So my hand starts shaking.
Okay.
But show must go on.
Okay. So he doesn't notice, unfortunately. So he just kind of just starts plowing through the crowd, and he's pretty adept at moving through all of these drunk people because he has all of his dexterity and they do not. So
Right.
he's just kind of pretty easily bobbing and weaving between everybody, just ducking out of the way when he has to. And he leads you down like a few shortcuts and alleyways and stuff, and you would have taken more of the main road, but he definitely knows where he's going. And so as you he comes out of the alleyway and you can see just the smoldering remains of what was a 2 or 3 story building, and essentially it has been reduced to just smoldering ashes. And you can see like some of the skeletal structure still remains, and you can see that there's embers still glowing. This fire was only very recently put out. And also, turmeric is full of shit. The insurance is not going to cover this.
What kind of insurance do they have in this fantasy realm? Like,
I mean, it covers like basic damages and stuff. It's like, if it could be rebuilt from what is left, it'll
no
cover
acts of
it.
God, demon, or mage, though?
No acts of God, demon, or mage, though. I mean, they're going to have the fire marshal come out.
They didn't have the premium coverage. That sucks.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna kind of take stock of the situation in terms of people and also possibly
there are a lot of military personnel around here as well. Just
yeah.
sort of stamping out the last of the parts of the building that are still actively on fire and at risk of setting the adjacent buildings aflame. And so
Is
you
there
can
a
see
fire
there was
brigade
whole,
here?
Yeah, there was a whole bucket brigade of soldiers, and so some of them are kind of standing around just in case they're needed again. They don't want to quite leave the scene just yet in case one of the other buildings decides to suddenly become a problem. And the rest of them are kind of milling about, like stomping out all of the embers and like making sure that everything is sufficiently put out so that they can then leave the scene. You don't see anybody that you really recognize. It appears that Turmeric has gone somewhere else.
Yeah, he probably ducked out as soon as he gave his orders.
Probably leaving the fucking city.
Yeah.
Vidius, you were mean. You're a big
From
mean
far,
cow.
far away, you hear a disembodied moo.
Well, he's not.
Did I roll
currently
perception
here.
on that? I'm probably gonna fail.
Don't bother. It's just for flavor.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take stock of the situation and see if I can find an opening to get into the building without being noticed.
Okay.
I'll probably want to check the surrounding buildings as well and see if there's any neighbors I can talk to.
So you are still currently on Nettle's shoulder.
Oh.
But he can feel that you kind of shifting around. Like obviously,
Yeah.
you don't want Uppy anymore. You want
Give him a little pat on the head. Yeah.
So he's like, okay. And he like grabs you and sits you down on the ground. He's like, this
Thanks, buddy.
wasn't your tavern, right?
No. But I need to find someone who knows what happened here. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't all of your stuff that went up in flames.
Me too.
Because I was gonna say I've got an extra mattress if you're really stuck, but you seem to be all right. So.
Appreciate that, buddy. How old are you?
16.
16. Ah.
Yeah.
That's a good time.
And he says he's 16, and then he like.
Yeah, that's a good
flexes
time.
all of the muscles he doesn't have.
Right. Yeah, I'm 16.
He's pretty
whatever.
spindly. He's like, yeah, he's got some pipe cleaners, you know. Like...
Well, at least they're sturdy enough to hold a gnome. Gnome or a halfling? I forgot.
No.
He's a gnome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your help, man, and I owe you.
Don't worry about it. Just
I know where you live. I might come for a visit. Next time I see you, I'll have something for you.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, I didn't catch your name.
Fidget.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Thanks. That was pretty cool.
I mean, it's not my favorite plant, but kind of prickly. But it does suit me sometimes. So, anywho, I'll let you get to whatever it is you're doing. Glad
Appreciate
all your
the help.
stuff didn't burn up, and have a good festival.
Good luck with your grandma.
Thanks. I'm gonna need it. And he turns and he starts walking back down the alleyway.
All right, I'm gonna start circling the buildings and see if there's anybody to talk to or any way that I can get in.
So there are no limitations to the amount of people you can talk to and the amount of ways you can get into the building because there's not particularly much of a building left. And there are a large number of soldiers that are kind of milling around. So you kind of have a plethora of things to choose from, essentially. It depends on whether or not you want them to notice that you're there, really.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk to any guards. I don't need that kind of smoke. But
There's already plenty of smoke in the area. So.
Wow, wow.
Wow. I can't help myself. I'm sorry.
I know. I heard it in my head, and then you said it. It's fine.
It's like, oh shit! I just set her up for it. And I'm like, bah, yes, thank you. You
As long as you
spike
say
out,
it, it's funny.
You volley it up, and I spike it the fuck down.
That's right. Yeah. I'm gonna try and find someone who's standing in one of the doorways nearby. I'm gonna assume that if they're standing in a doorway, they live there, and they might know who strangers would be.
Okay. So I don't really think a perception check is warranted in this case, as
Okay.
it's pretty easy to see whether or not somebody is standing in a doorway.
Mhm.
Unless you feel like staring at the sun, which isn't currently out. So,
Yeah. Can I take 10? Okay, cool.
all right. So, you can see that there is a dwarvish woman, who's kind of just standing, like leaning with her arms crossed, on the in the doorway, like directly across the street, and she's kind of just watching everything as it goes by. You can see that this appears to be like her house, which is odd because the majority of all of the buildings in this area are businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that stands out to you is that this person lives in this area, which is slightly odd.
Yeah. It's not often that people live in the market.
It's not often people live in the market.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna walk over and try and be put on as much of a local mannerism as I can. Just be like,
Okay.
terrible thing to happen during such a celebration, don't you think?
Well, this is problem if you do not have the proper magical abilities to keep fire from happening. I've
And
told them again and again, you need to get the words, and they were like, no, we do not need the words. And I'm like, you are an inn. You are built of wood. You are asking for trouble. They do not listen, and now they learn. They have to learn the hard way.
so it just kind of just happened naturally.
I mean, I was inside, just enjoying my own celebration, and I look over and there's raging inferno. I do not. I assume maybe somebody left the stove on and went out and had a little too much of a drink, and I cannot assume. I can only infer.
I hope no one died.
I do not think anybody died. They would probably not let me be standing here and ask me more questions if somebody had died. Everybody got out. A couple smoke inhalation, lots of shock, a little bit of panic. Fire scary. Who?
Well, I'm glad that your place is protected. Now I'm gonna have to find a new watering hole. This sucks.
Oh, there are plenty around.
True
I
enough.
mean, it's one of those things. It happens, they do not have the words. I did warn them. I tell them, listen, your building will probably burn down. No, Godiva, we know what we are doing. We do not need to listen to you.
Neighbors, am I right?
Right? They think you're trying to just, be better than them. Oh, I know so much more than you. And maybe, you consider for a second, I actually do. You should probably listen to me. No, we do what we like. We do not have wars. We burn down in. We no claim insurance. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm just gonna.
You're backing up through this entire conversation. Like, yeah, no, this
Totally.
is great. Yeah, super interesting.
Well, anyway.
Glad your house is okay. Just roll a stealth check to see if you can get out of this conversation.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. I did fine. I rolled dirty 20.
Okay. Ash rolled a 7, so she just kind of just keeps talking and doesn't particularly notice that you're gone until she looks down. She's like, "Oh, well, see, nobody listens to Godiva. Nobody thinks that she has the knowledge. It is okay. I just stand here and talk to myself, apparently, wasting words. Blah blah blah." And she just turns and goes back up into her house.
Well, this has been the funnest detective investigation I've ever done. Had a crazy old lady who knits dog sweaters.
Yep, crochets. She crochets dog sweaters. It is
And her
an entirely different thing.
And her depressed grandson.
I mean, he's a teenager. It's just part of the parcel, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Nobody understands me.
She doesn't. He gets bland chicken. Of course, he's depressed.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than bland.
Boiled goose.
I mean, who wouldn't hate their life if they had to eat plain boiled chicken? Like,
Okay, now, I don't know. The next thing I want to do is talk to one of the whoever looks like they have like, honors on their lapels or whatever. But I personally, as a player, I'm kind of curious what everybody else has been doing. So.
okay. So yeah, if you'd like to just tap that pause button for a second, we can
Hell
loop
yeah.
back to everybody at the barracks. You guys are making your way up the stairwell towards Bavidius. And as you guys kind of make your way up the stairs, you guys can just hear the sounds of definitive mourning. There are no words. There do not need to be words, because encapsulating sorrow doesn't require words.
I'll gesture them as soon as I see them coming up the stairs. I'll gesture them to come over to join Domino and I.
I walk towards them.
And I'll fill in Talon and Rendell, explaining, as you can hear, we are best to not return to the scene at the moment. However, I was able to ascertain that the assassin made off with a set of keys, which I suspect they used to unlock the colonel's desk drawer, and among anything else that may have been in the drawer, which there was no sign of that I could identify, they seem to have made off with some sort of very large horn, which I knew nothing about, except for the faintest memory that I cannot quite put a finger on. Yet certainly a strange prize to take.
Ovidus, is there somebody in your ranks, perhaps a historian or a sage, that may know the history of such an item?
Indeed, the High Arcanist would surely have some sort of information. However, with all of the guard missing at their posts, and Turmeric proving quite tardy at rounding up a detachment to come and man the barracks,
Poor Turmeric.
I am at a bit of a loss as to where or whom to send to find the High Arcanist.
I can go. Where would I find him?
Well, unless he was called off along with the guard to man the bucket brigade, whatever God's forsaken reason, he would typically be found in the high tower.
I'll head off to
Frankly.
the high tower.
Frankly, you'll need me to join you if you're to get up there.
Perhaps
All right.
we should stick together as a party and go as a unit. Let us go to the high tower.
I am loath to leave Nyx here alone. However, if it will give me but a moment to inform her that we are leaving temporarily, then we shall go together.
I can stay with her.
I would not recommend that.
Well,
And I'll-
I sort of need
Let's
to
hope
talk.
the assassin doesn't return.
I do kind of need to ask her something, and time is of the essence. So,
well then, come with me. And I'll stick my head in the door again and
Okay.
clear my throat.
So
And try
again,
and get her attention.
you see all of the back muscles and like across the backs of her shoulders just tense up, and she has an impressive amount of muscles.
And I'll say to her, Nyx, my companions and I must make haste to attempt to locate the dread assassin. Time is of the essence, and my companion Rendell here has an urgent question that he begs a moment to ask you.
I'll say to Bovidius very quietly, if I swallow my tongue after I get knocked out, try to make sure I keep breathing.
I'll not.
Right.
So she stands up and turns to face you, and you can see that her eyes are just bloodshot, and there are like tears streaking down her face. And she is not hiding her emotion at all.
First off, very sorry for your loss, but I need to ask your permission if I could ask your mother some questions.
That's not funny.
Wasn't a joke, love.
Ow.
Hmm?
Ow.
Well, I'm a cleric. Give me 6-8 hours. I can prepare a spell. Can I ask your mother some questions? I want to say this is not resurrection. I'm sorry, I can't bring her back. But what I can do is maybe find some answers so you can get some justice for her, or vengeance, whichever you prefer.
As much as I don't appreciate the idea, I'm sure that she would want to make sure that each of us has every tool that we possibly can to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
So I say yes.
Fine.
Right then, I'm gonna go in the other room and just start preparing. See the rest of you when you get back.
I'll nod to Rendell, and I'll turn to Nyx, and I'll say, be wary. There is no one here to guard the door.
I pray that whoever it was is stupid enough to come back.
I do as well, for they deserve your justice. And with that, I'll nod to her and say, we will be in the Tower of the Arcanist.
I will be here.
And I'll be in the other room.
I'm just imagining,
No,
like, you started to walk away, and you, like, poke your head back into the room, like, I'll just be over here.
I'm just grab his head as he comes in and just push him out of the room.
You put your face in to comment, and he just grabs your face and, like...
What? Sorry? Oh, sorry. I thought you said my name. Sorry, my bad.
All right. So I'll gather Domino and Talon and do my best to close the door behind Rendell in his little resting room while he prepares the spell, and we'll go off to find the tower.
Okay. So the Archmage, as you know, does occupy the tallest tower within the city, not necessarily the garrison. Because the garrison is more for soldiers, and the Archmage is he's affiliated with the military, but it's kind of he's definitely more on the magistrate side of things than he is. He does aid the military. You guys do have contracts, but he's not answerable to the military. He has no rank. It's just he is the keeper of the information for all, not just for the military.
This is the problem with getting directions from the person in the other city that I came from.
So you're like, oh, and you're like looking at your map and realize that it's like hand drawn and like you look at it and it's got this little turmeric signed on the bottom. You're like, fucking damn it!
That's what you get for choosing the orc that can't read.
There's just a little sign with an arrow pointing to Nix's room. It says "Bears here."
It
Said there was no need to read to be a cartographer.
I'll agree to disagree.
I'll flag down the nearest shopkeep or person in their home that on the doorstep. Whoever I see that looks likely to know where the fastest route to the Arcanist is.
Okay. So you see an orc, like a full orc woman. And essentially she's in a very like a very flowery dress, and she's got like full dreads with a bunch of flowers kind of just like put inside of them. And so she's just kind of attending to her stall, which is flowers. She sells flowers. So she's got all these beautiful bouquets of roses and tulips and other sorts of flowers that I can't think of right now. Lots of flowers. She's got a fucking money tree and a rubber plant. I don't know, plants.
A money tree, you say?
It's a type of plant. It doesn't grow money. And orchids.
I'll give you $1,000 for it.
And
Right?
lilies and flowers. Do something. I
You
can't
say
keep
orchids
naming
already?
Orchids. I said orchids. Yeah.
Pardon
How
me.
many other flowers are there?
I don't know.
Oh my god! Please,
A Venus
I don't care.
flytrap.
Charlotte. I don't care
Brilliant.
what name you
Right.
had for this orc. Her name is now Orchid.
Chrysanthemums.
I,
There you go.
I was gonna name her Tulip, but Orchid is way funnier. So
She's an orc. So
She's an orchid.
I'll go up to her and I'll say, "Pardon me, miss. My companions and I are seeking the fastest route through the city to the Tower of the Archmage. Do you know how we might go about getting there?"
she turns to you. Oh yes, you just take a left and then a right. You go to the end of the street, okay, and then you stop and you take in the beautiful surroundings. You know, appreciate your life. Really, just because life is so beautiful.
Oh god.
In hippies.
He's growing something else in the back for sure.
Yeah.
It is a flowering plant.
It
I can
sure
tell you
is.
that. Yeah, you just look around and think to yourself, like, what would this world be like without me in it? And it's just so beautiful. Anyways, I'm not gonna bother you anymore. But you go to the end of the street, you take a left, and then you take a right. It's the tallest tower in the city. It's really hard to miss. But I need you to do me a favor. I need you to take this rock. And she reaches into her pocket and she pulls out just a little blue stone, and she places it in your palm and like closes your finger around it. She's like, you're gonna need this later. It's very important. You're a beautiful person. I love you.
Okay. I
She, like-
slowly back away.
You try to back away, and she like slowly like grabs you by the sides of your face and like plants a kiss like on your forehead directly between your eyes. Go in peace.
Okay. And I quickly turn to the others and say, "Remind me not to deal with the flower children."
Jeez.
I'll flip her a silver piece for her trouble.
So you flip her a silver piece, and without breaking eye contact with Bividia, she catches it.
That's skill.
I'll turn to her and
I can feel your energy. You're so special. You're all so special. You're going to make an impact on this world that you don't even know about yet. And it's just so beautiful.
Well, thank you for providing your own special guidance to speed us on our way. We truly must be going.
I understand. Fate has called you, and you must answer.
Yes, and I hear fate calling extremely loudly now.
Yeah, I gotta make this
farewell.
call. You know,
Yes.
Save the universe and whatnot.
welcome everyone to the episode where Charlotte has way too much fun with all the NPCs you talk to.
Also known as every episode.
Also known as every episode.
I will physically grab Talon and Domino around the shoulders and be like, "We really have to go."
You're going. Like, no questions. That's an order. I don't care if you're in the military. Let's
Yeah.
go. Okay, so
we'll do our
you-
best to follow the directions.
you follow her directions, and they're accurate.
Yeah.
So you do see a very tall tower, within, like, sort of just on the very edge of the cliff, like, a little bit away from the lighthouse where all of the dignitary buildings are. It's just this very tall, ornate-looking stone building, made entirely out of marble, which is maybe a tiny bit too posh, but it's the kind of, build of marble where it's not over the top. It's, that it's very, very well built and fine workmanship, but it's not gauche. It's not gaudy. It's pretty and it's useful.
So it's Greek.
Yes.
Okay.
Although there might be one dick drawn on it.
So it's Greek.
So it's Greek.
Exactly. So, I'll go up to the front door and is there a knocker or is it just a blank door?
So there's a little button, and you can see like the small button that you can push, and there's like a little wire system that goes into the interior of the tower.
I'll push the button.
Okay. You hear nothing.
I'll push it again.
Okay. You still hear nothing.
I'll keep pushing it 3 more times.
Okay. So you start spamming the button, and the door flies open.
Only 3.
Still counts as spamming. It is more than 2. You did it in triplicate. You spammed it. So essentially, the door flies open, and you see this pretty disheveled-looking, elderly human. And he's got these perfectly round, circular glasses. And he looks well into his 50s. He's got like this pepperish gray hair, it's down to his shoulders, and you can see that he was maybe sleeping, because he's got like a full cowlick going, and it's just kind of all over the place. And he's dressed in these
Cowlick, eh?
very nice. Stop! He's dressed in these very nice blue robes. Why do you have to listen? I'm being perfectly innocent here.
I roll perception on the cowlick.
You are entirely in another area of the city, sir. But go ahead and make the roll anyways, just because it's funny. Not gonna roll higher than 10, though.
No, probably not. Watch this being that 20. 17.
17.
Minus 1 is 16.
You get an odd feeling. And then it
smell a
suddenly
cowlick.
passes. I smell... Bavidius, you know damn well what cowlick is. Ooh.
Very
so he
salty.
He's like he was wearing a nightgown, and it was just this very nice looking nightgown, and he's pulling it, like tying it closed. God damn it, what is it that I can help you with?
Are you the High Arcanist?
Yeah. What?
My name is Bovitius of the clan Flamehoof, formerly a major of the Silver Shields of Guardian's Cove. I suppose technically still, as the colonel who was supposed to discharge me lies dead in her office.
Right.
We are investigating.
Did
My
I
friend-
curse at you? Might I just out of the gate apologize for my profanity? That was entirely inadvertent. I thought that you were somebody else. This little
Apology
shit
is
likes to-
unnecessary.
Ding dong
We are in
ditched me,
much.
so
We are in much too much of a hurry for any unnecessary apologies. But please
Entirely.
understand the urgency of our request. My companion here, Sir Domino, and our other companion, Mr. Talon, they both have some questions that I feel you would be best equipped to answer.
yeah, sorry. And he's like starts like combing his hair with his finger. He's like, of course, come on in. I apologize. I haven't cleaned up necessarily. Betty, can you please vacate the premises? Thank you.
And I'll gesture
That's
my
my-
companions inside.
That's my cat. Her name's Betty. Anyways,
No comment.
let me allow you to escort you upstairs. He like starts, and it's this door just leads into this very large winding staircase. That's just so you can see pretty much all the way up to the like through the entirety of the building up to the top level. And as you go in, you realize it's very well built, but not well designed.
Very Greek.
Yeah.
So yeah, the staircase kind of just hugs the interior of the wall of the tower. And you guys can see that the majority of the levels do occupy like the upper half of the building. It's probably not the best design, but hey, yeah,
We
you
made
take
it
what you're
up the
given,
stairs.
essentially. Yeah, you guys can do stairs, right? So you clippity clop your way up the stairs. And so as you kind of go onto the first level, you can see that just the entirety of this level is these very large bookshelves that are essentially perfectly built to be just entirely circle the room, and you can see that they are entirely loaded down with hundreds upon hundreds of thick tomes and rolled up pieces of parchment and scrolls, and you can smell, like, when you go into a library and you can just smell, those, just the scent of old paper, and it's essentially just a library.
Greetings.
Greetings. It's very nice to meet you.
I am Sir Domino of the Sylvan High Paladins of Bahamut. Oh,
Nice to meet
wise
you.
one, are you aware that the city commander has been assassinated?
I was just informed. I'm a little bit flabbergasted, I'm not gonna lie. How did she die? Did she have an accident? Did she have an unfortunate ailment that she kept to herself? She seems like the type.
In fact, she had an item that we believe caused her assassination.
That answers my question. What item is it that you're asking about?
Sir Bovidus would know more about the item.
Regrettably, I only know it by its absence. In the Colonel's formerly locked upper desk drawer, there was a velvet cushion with the imprint of a horn of some type. Do you know anything about some sort of horn of any significance, be it magical or symbolic, that the Colonel would have had, that was precious enough to lock away?
Yep. Okay. God damn it, JT! No!
Fair enough.
I don't think you're allowed to say "God damn it" for 10 minutes.
Oh, it hasn't started yet. Shit! No! It's fine. We're gonna go to break. No, I'm kidding. It's cool. It's cool. I have a long memory, sir. All right. So essentially, he kind of looks at you, and his eyes kind of flick back and forth a little bit. And he's like, fortunately, I can't really recall anything of the sort. I think she had maybe some ceremonial things locked away in her desk of sentimental value, but I don't know why somebody would go to the trouble of assassinating her for something like that.
Does the word melody mean anything to you?
Nope.
Okay, perhaps
What-
there are some tomes or some manuscripts you may have that would describe such an item.
You have unfettered access to my library, friends. If there is information that you seek, it is yours.
We thank you, Archmage. Taven, did you have a question of your own? Did
I think we
Talon
just lost him.
disconnect?
I think we
Literally
just lost
heard
him.
walk away. Yeah,
Comedic timing to a T.
Indeed.
that was
I'm
magic.
ask you a question. Nope.
Well, I take it by your silence. You have forgotten your
I mean,
question.
that's
So-
cheating if you're not, if you know, you can't, you have to deal with the swear timer the same way everybody else does, man. You don't just get to dip out of the chat for 10 minutes. That's not fair. Okay, so, okay,
Oh,
I think he's back.
welcome
Oh,
back.
there he is. Talon, can you hear me?
Oh boy.
All right. Well,
right.
while
So
we
I
wait for
think-
him, I'll
yeah,
start.
while we wait for him, this might be a prudent moment to just, so as you're kind of start beginning to look through the books and realize, you know, start to consider where it is you would like to look and what information you'd like to look for. We're gonna loop back to Fidget.
Okay.
Because you are still in front of the smoldering inn.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any further investigation you would like to do?
Yeah. I'm gonna. You said that the place is basically just like a skeleton of a building now, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna investigate in a specific way. I'm gonna look and listen to what all the official people are doing and saying, and where their focus seems to be. Because I want to
Okay.
know where the source of the fire was in some fashion, and I also want to know if there are any strangers that need to be that are being described, or eyewitness accounts that are being interrogated, that kind of thing. I don't want to make myself known, but I still want to kind of, use all my senses.
Okay, so I will let you roll either an investigation or a perception check, just because of the specificity of what you're currently doing right
Okay.
now. It's a little bit of column A, it's a little bit of column B, so I'll let you pick
Great. Well,
whichever one you prefer.
for your future reference, so you know how to screw me over, my perception is -1 and my investigation is 7. So I rolled a 17, so that gives it a 24 for my investigation.
Okay. So I will definitely keep that in mind. Roll perception. Wait,
You
I
had to
changed
give
my
her
number.
ammo,
Come on.
dude.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Rule number 1: do not give Charlotte ammo. That is entirely a terrible
Believe me,
idea.
she's already playing with a loaded gun.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're not playing roulette, friends. This barrel is entirely loaded. Okay, so as you kind of just listen to all of the guards milling about, you catch like snippets of conversation, and the immediate gist that you get is they don't know how this fire started. They're all talking about how, first of all, the building should have been relatively okay in the response time that it received. And all of them are genuinely confused as to how it got set on fire so quickly. And so, because, yeah, one of them is talking and he's like, yeah, it's literally, they had fire wards. It was fireproofed. Like, I don't really understand how it went up so fast. Like, we had our usual response time and it didn't start from the kitchen. It was, it's like, and one of the other guys was like, hey, it was probably some drunk, with a cigarette, and they just tossed it into something in the back window or some shit. I don't know. It's not really our area of expertise. All we got to do is fucking put it out, man. There's a swear timer.
I was just gonna say, I think we just reset the timer. You're doing great.
Everything is fine. Everything is great. No, casually, I
Everything is
swear.
awesome.
Flash forward to episode 92 when the swear timer is still going.
Oh God.
I just keep resetting it indefinitely. There's somebody following behind me with a freaking stopwatch at work. Like, Charlotte, I'm like, listen, okay? Just like, they don't even say anything at one point. You just hear the click of it resetting, and I'm like, ah.
Good though, you're killing time.
So, the general gist that you get is the fire started close to the rear of the building. It started very quickly, and it took the building very quickly.
As an artificer, specifically an archivist, I would know a thing or two about wards, wouldn't I?
You do indeed.
So I would look in, I assume it would be doorways, corners of the building, see if I can find any evidence of wards or if they've been erased. Is there any
Okay.
sort of, let me see,
So-
I think I might have like a detect magic kind of situation here.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, cool. Let me take a look.
Take your time.
the
The
8
less
minutes
I
and
talk.
45 seconds. 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Yeah.
Does anybody else want to do a monologue or something?
I
Thought we'd be okay.
have a cow, man.
The trick is to have Charlotte shut up.
Damn. Okay.
I'm gonna get you, man. It has begun.
Okay, I'm not seeing any particular way to detect a magical thing.
You have do you have the spell detect magic, or
I think I. Just one moment.
if you
Sorry.
don't, you can also just go ahead and give me a straight Arcana roll to see if you can
Oh, okay. Well, let me take a look at
determine
that.
where any magic or a residual form of it might be.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna roll my Arcana because I also have a 7 to that. I rolled a 9, so that's a 16.
16. Okay. So essentially you start kind of just going around the exterior of the building, and you can see the remains of all of the protective wards that were on this building. And you immediately realize that none of these wards were active. Because every single one of them is deactivated in some way. Some of them are some of the wards were magically engraved into the wood, and you can see just these large gouges in the wood to just render the mark like different, and it just completely ruins the magical effect because you have now
Right.
changed the symbol.
Right.
And there are other ones with your roll that have been tampered with to not slow down fire, but to encourage fire.
Right.
So essentially, the meaning of the ward is changed enough that now it increases the flammability of something.
Now, I'm going to ask something very specific, and I don't even know if this is doable. But I assume wards are similar to like other languages where everybody writes things a little differently. Is there any way I can tell sort of the regional dialect of the alteration?
That is a damn good question.
Thank you. I should probably roll something for this, I
You
assume.
should probably roll something for this, yeah.
Yeah. What do you
Give
want me to roll?
me a straight intelligence check.
Straight intelligence. You got it. I rolled a 15, and I believe I get a +4. Let me double check that.
You know those rolls in a campaign where somebody asks a question, you're like, I don't have to answer this if you don't roll high enough, and then they roll high enough.
Where are my stats? My God, why is this character so hard to follow? Oh, there we are. Yeah, I get a +4, so that's a 19.
The 19. You can't particularly tell the specific regional dialect of, like, just the shape of the arcane symbols because it is entirely alien to you. Other than the way that the symbol on the wall in the colonel's office was also written.
Ah. Okay. Interesting. Is there any way I can get a hold of this thing without being too obvious?
I mean, you would have to take the entire piece of wood, and that is still very much part of what remains of the building.
Okay.
So you certainly can, but it's gonna take you a bit.
I'm gonna take out I'm gonna take my little folding table off my back and rummage through, grab a pencil and a little notepad, and I'm gonna mark down the symbol as accurately as I possibly can.
I can do you one better actually, because it's engraved in the wood. You can literally do a rubbing of it.
Ah, perfect. Yeah,
so you
I'll
can
do
get
that.
precisely what it looks like.
Cool. Deal. I'll do
Deal.
that. And yeah, and then I'll pack that up and
whilst you're back here, just compounding on the 17 that you rolled for your investigation check, you see a very large scorched area, and it seems that the fire seemed to have stemmed from here.
Right.
And it's just this very large black, almost concave area inside.
Right.
Like, so something hit the side of this wall and then started the fire, essentially. So
Okay.
it wasn't. There's no tinder. There's no evidence of actual physical tampering. This seems to be something else.
Yeah, like a fireball or a firebolt of some kind. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. I think I'm good from now. For now, I'm gonna make notes of all this around the rubbing, all the things that I've learned, and make my way back to the garrison.
All right. So as you start making your way back towards the garrison, is the timer?
I think it somehow got reset.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh,
I
it
good?
lasted long enough.
Did the yeah, thank God.
Structured as fuck. Not anymore.
You gotta wait for the oracle, man.
I was gonna maybe go to break, but
Time to go for break.
yeah, can we pause?
Yeah, let's pause it. Yeah.
And with that, we're gonna go for break. Welcome back, everyone. So as Fidget makes his way back towards the barracks, the remainder of the party, minus Rendell, is going and investigating the tower of the Archmage. So we kind of come back to you guys, and he's kind of just standing in the corner, really taking a step back and allowing you guys to investigate as you see fit.
I'll turn to Sir Domino and Talon, and sort of say, I shall tackle books of military history. What would you gentlemen think prudent to skim through for clues?
Arcana would probably be a good idea.
Indeed, very wise. Sir
What
Domino.
about is there like a history of promotions, certifications, awards, anything like that? Perhaps this might be an item that was given to her in some promotion.
Very cunning,
Like-
very cunning.
like- The key of the city, something like that.
Perhaps. All right. I shall take military history focused on artifacts and weapons, and you could take the books that are focused on individuals of note.
Very good.
And I guess we'll go off to our appropriate
Well, have
sections
at
of
it.
the library and
Okay.
start skimming.
So can everybody give me a perception check?
How do I have
Including me?
proficiency in that?
There's a
You're
natural
not there
one.
yet.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
So everybody minus Fidget and Rundle. Everybody in the tower currently.
Cool.
That was a nat 20.
Ayy.
Wow.
So
I got a 2, so I got 4 altogether.
you're looking at books.
Now I know how turmeric feels.
Just immediately paying very close attention to all of the books. It's, which one of these has pictures? Just like- so
Really need to learn how to read.
Phidias. So Domino, what did you roll before I say anything?
I rolled a natural 1.
Oh,
you
You're not even looking at books.
you're not even you're just kind of you're kind of looking back down like over the edge of where the staircase meets this level, and just this immediate feeling of vertigo just kind of washes over, and you're like, and just make your way across the other side of the room, not particularly noticing anything. So Bavidius, you have spent enough time in the military to pick up on very, very subtle cues as to when someone is nervous. Everybody has their own individual tics. And this guy's tic is he has a ring on his finger, and that he is just continuously fiddling with it. He'll like transfer it from one hand to the other, and he's just kind of twisting it between his fingers, and you can see just the tiniest amount of perspiration that has suddenly begun to cling to his forehead. He seems very nervous.
I'll go over to him and I'll say, "My, that's a very attractive ring that you have there. What's the significance of that?"
Oh, it's just a little thing I picked up in the market. It's really just sentimental value. It's I got it when I came to the city to occupy this post. It's just a little bob and a silver. It's nothing really of note.
Well, the craftsmanship is quite extraordinary. Perhaps I could have a closer look.
if you insist. And he like pulls off the ring and kind of offers it to you. As
I'll
I
look at-
said, if there's anything that y'all require, it's all you need to do is ask. As he like kind of just plops the ring into your extended palm.
Oh, indeed, and my companions have already begun. They've begun, and,
They've already begun.
and
Don't know how you can simultaneously be menacing and grasping for words, but
Yeah.
you managed to pull it off.
I take a closer look. Is there any design on the ring? Any writing?
It's just a plain silver ring.
And as I'm looking at it, I kind of turn, so I'm looking through the ring at the Archmage and say, "Quite a temperate day today, is it not?"
Oh, yeah, it's heat rises, so it gets a little hot in here. Sometimes, it's open the
Oh.
windows. There's a very nice ocean breeze that usually comes in, and it's so you don't need to deal with it in an arcane way. There's really no need. It's I've got all the fresh sea air that I could possibly need, so it's
Indeed, and that is quite a lot of perspiration for one so adequately cooled in such a moderate climate.
Look, I mean, I do have a condition where I, tend to perspire a little bit more aggressively than the average individual. It's I really should see a cleric, or do you have one? I could probably maybe just ask him a
Yes,
few
indeed,
questions.
right here.
He's a
Damn it!
Your cleric
I
is...
got them mixed up
You
again.
did it again.
Oh no!
Oh, no, wait! Does that count?
It probably counts.
Does that count? Did you?
Well,
Wait,
you could do it.
You're doing so well.
No.
This is the
Why is
longest
this
10
so
minutes
hard?
ever.
Because we're musicians. So, anyway,
I'll
I'll tell the Archmage. Yes, we do have a cleric. He's back in Garrison. I'll be happy to introduce you to him as soon as you explain to me why you're being so dishonest.
I'm sorry, sir. Excuse me. I must have had a little bit of dust accumulating in this ear of mine. Did you just accuse me of telling an untruth?
No, I've accused you of misunderstanding the severity of the situation and withholding information that I explicitly asked for.
Roll an intimidation check.
Oh, this ought to be fun.
22.
Okay. He immediately tries to take a step back, and then realize you have already backed him into the bookshelf. And so essentially you take a menacing step forward, and there's nowhere for him to go.
And for context, I'm still looking at him through the ring.
Sir, I can't lie to you if I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not supposed to say anything. It's supposed to... I can't tell you. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to tell you.
My commanding officer lies dead in her office. We had to subdue her rightfully infuriated daughter, the Sergeant Nix. And now we are tasked, in lieu of anybody else, with identifying and bringing to justice this murderer. It is imperative that we have information about the melody that the Colonel asked us to protect and the horn that she was killed for.
All right. Listen. I don't know anything about this melody which you're referring to. But all I can tell you is that the horn that was in her office is called the Horn of the Wake. And I am magically bound to not tell you any further. If this is the information that you require, you're going to have to go to the magistrate. I am incapable of telling you these secrets. I have made a magical solemn vow that I would never disclose this information.
I cannot demand that you break that vow. I only wish that you would have explained that initially.
I'm not even supposed to tell you about it in the first place. It's just you're very big.
Phrasing.
Didn't you just break your vow? Did you not just break your vow?
That remains to be seen. He kind of like lifts up his sleeve, and you can see this small arcane symbol that kind of looks akin to a tattoo just on his, like, the inside of his wrist. He's like, well, it
I'll
seems
grab
I've
his wrist.
danced around the subject. Oh, okay. Oh, you were really touchy all of a sudden.
I'll grab his wrist and I will say, Zonum Justica! And I will cast a zone of truth, 15-foot radius.
Boy, oh
okay.
boy.
He gets to
Wait,
make
am I in that?
He gets to, yeah, it is a 10-foot radius cone.
Please, everybody remember, we still are on a swear timer, so your truth has to be within... Yeah.
Bounds of common
Everybody,
decency.
That's right.
everybody make a wisdom save who is within 10 feet of this particular mage.
19!
I'm gonna guess the mage didn't make the save.
Well, it would be hard to do with a natural 1, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I rolled
Ooh.
a 2, so I'm pretty honest myself.
Is this a critical failure because it's like a saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
This mage is gonna
Stop!
die.
How is that a swear word?
He said
Oh no.
Way to go!
Ow!
You rolled the 1. Your fault.
All right, hold on. I'm doing pretty well right now.
Oh gee.
Okay. It's fine. We're just gonna move past it. He rolled a natural 1. He fails horrendously.
All right, tell us everything you know about the Horn of the Wake and start talking.
As I said previously, that is information that I cannot disclose. If you would like to know anything further, you need to talk to the head magistrate. Just because I'm inclined to tell the truth does not mean I have to tell you a truth that I cannot physically tell you.
Where is this magistrate?
She lives about 2 doors down. Large white house, biggest one on the block. You can't miss it.
Well, I think I'd like you to accompany us.
I would rather not.
I'd rather you would.
So Horn, it's a zone of truth, not a zone of
Control.
Oh,
I mean,
not
he's
trying
not
to control.
lying. He would rather not.
I want him to go.
Okay.
We will face other.
I will say to the magistrate, or sorry, not the magistrate, the archmage. You have my word that the magistrate's ruling on this matter will be respected. I'll also turn to Sir Domino and say, I have seen this type of marking before, and while I
Sorry.
appreciate your zeal and agree with this cause, of course, if he was to break this bond, there is a possibility his life may be the cost.
Well, he's already tried to deceive us once, and the city commander lies dead, and he's withholding information. There is no justice or honor in that. So, in fact, I think he should be taken in front of the courts after we get some more information on this, and he can talk to them and proclaim his innocence if he so wishes.
Wise words. Uh-oh.
Okay. Right? Okay.
Okay.
Can we trade the boon to swear?
Can I make the boon
I would
This is
rather
so
roll
mean.
natural ones for the rest of time.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'll turn to Domino and say, as always, I hear wisdom in your words. However, the injustice has been placed upon him by the courts, and only by the courts' grace can we lift it from him. Let us go 2 doors down and attempt to do so.
That sounds fair.
I'll ask Talon if there's Talon, is there anything else you wished to ask of our friend here before we depart?
Yes. What? She was a colonel, right? Sorry.
Yes, she was a colonel.
Mhm.
The colonel. Why was she killed?
I haven't the foggiest
No.
ideas.
Okay. Had to hazard it, right?
I'm assuming that whoever killed her got precisely what they wanted. I strongly suggest you move quickly.
I'll nod. And with that, I'll usher him down the stairs.
Oh, okay, over. Hold on. Wait. You don't need to grab me by the collar. Let go of me, sir. I can walk on my own.
I
Thank
said
you.
usher, not cow handle.
Not cow handle. Okay.
Uncow me, sir. Uncow me.
Ooh, I say.
Get your filthy paws off me, and I'm not going to finish that quote because it's going to
We're gonna have to go back to old time curse words.
Fiddlesticks.
Con darn it.
Come bite my thumb, you slug.
My gentleman, me, sir.
Do you quarrel? Shall I draw my long sword?
So yeah, I guess Magistrate's house.
Okay, so as you kind of as you guys make your way out of the front doors of this tower, you do manage to catch sight of Fidget, who is making his way back towards the barracks, and he does catch sight of you guys.
Whistle
You're
him
not
over.
hard to miss. You're a pretty random conglomeration of races.
Hail, Fidget. And I'll wave him over.
Also trying to figure out what this boon needs to be.
Where are you going?
We are on our way to the home of the magistrate of this city, to attempt to learn more about some clues I discovered, or more accurately, the clue that is the lack of clues.
Well, I've got some information.
What have you learned?
Well, I don't know if we know anybody who uses a lot of magic around here, but there's definitely magic involved.
We all look at the Archmage.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Hi there. Nice to meet you.
What's your
Seriously, you can let go of my collar if you just.
I'm now gonna actually grab his collar.
Listen, seriously, it's really uncomfortable. You're like 2 feet taller than me. If you could just, give me a little bit of slack, that would. Appreciate it.
A very tiny amount of slack.
Who's your prisoner?
This is the city Archmage. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I never did ask your name.
My name's Varicose. It's very nice to meet you.
Oh my.
And wait, hold on. I missed something here. You're going to the city magistrate with the city archmage in your custody.
It's a short story.
I think custody is a little bit too aggressive of a word. I'm simply accompanying these fine people. Okay, I get it. Stop.
We have reason to believe he knows more about this situation than he is willing to divulge. So we're going to the Archmage to get to the bottom of it.
We already have
Because
the
we
Archmage.
believe, or we're going to the Magistrate to divulge what information we can gather.
What does the mage have to
Indeed.
do with it?
Well, it appears that a magical spell restricting him from speaking of what we need to know has been placed upon him, and only the magistrate can relieve him of this.
He has a ward.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll my Arcana.
Okay.
See if I can recognize this. 16.
Okay. This is a very complex yet very simple spell at the same time. This is the mark that somebody receives when Gaius is cast upon them.
Yeah, so I would know that it's a Gaius, but that could mean that you have to tap your feet 3 times before you can go to the bathroom, or it could mean
It can mean any variety of
literally
things, but the
anything.
symbol for it is always the same.
Right. Okay.
So you can tell that this has been cast upon him, and the everything else just kind of sort of settles into place in your mind. Like, that makes entire sense that he says that he can't say anything because, you know, those arcane marks don't just spontaneously show up.
I definitely think it's weird that the Archmage of the city would find themselves caught up in a Gaius. But I'm going to keep that to myself for the
Okay.
moment.
Would you like to accompany us to the magistrate's home?
Yep, I got my own story to tell.
Yeah, how he got into this
Splendid.
situation is anybody's Gaius.
Wah, wah.
Excellent.
I
So with
grant you a
that,
boon.
It's even better. It's even better because it could have been his accent by
It's your
accident.
boon getting to listen to that wonderful pun. No, I'm kidding. I'm still thinking of it.
I do have a question.
Yep.
The zone of truth, does that follow us?
No. So
Okay.
the Zone of Truth is a stagnant spell. You cast it as a cone, and it remains there until it is dismissed or the time runs out.
Oh, okay, no. I was wondering because I'm like, shouldn't we be making wisdom saves?
No. So you only have to make the save as the spell is cast, or if you
Oh,
enter
okay.
the area of the effect for the first time.
so I'll sort of steer the Archmage
All right.
towards
Listen, hey.
towards the
we're all
door
friends
of
here.
the magistrate, since we're like
I'm just
right there.
imagining you kind of steer him into the door and just like slam him into the door. Hey, listen.
Clunk,
No,
clunk,
no,
clunk.
no slam.
You knock on the door with him.
We're not there yet.
Just his skull reverberating against the wood.
It's on the table, but it's not been used yet. I will knock on the door with my free hands.
Okay.
With his head.
So you knock on the door and you can hear a kind of echo within the cavernous space inside. Before you hear the unlocking of many locking mechanisms before the door opens, and you see this very beautiful elvish woman, and you can see that her pointed ears are just studded with all sorts of intricate and very expensive looking piercings. And she's got this long, bright blue hair that just kind of cascades down past her waist. And she's wearing a very beautiful, just red dress made of lace or satin or some other expensive material, or some conglomeration of both. And she kind of looks at you, all of you. Well, this wasn't what I was expecting for the evening. Hello? Can I help you in some way?
Are you the magistrate of this city?
I should certainly hope so. I live in her house.
Indeed. Well, I have to ask simply because I can only imagine a woman of such importance would have servants on a typical evening. However, as I am well aware, this evening is not typical in any fashion. My name is Bovitius.
Vidius. I know.
Ah, splendid. And surely you recognize my companion here, Archmage Varicose, and perhaps you also know these other companions of mine, Sir Domino of the Sylvan Elves, and
I
Fidget.
sneak behind a leg, so I'm not noticeable. Just like,
Um,
I briefly.
apologies, Major. I'm only familiar with you and your stature. I am not yet acquainted with your companions.
I see. Well, we are all investigating the unfortunate and very sudden murder of our good friend, the Colonel.
Sorry, you're gonna have to repeat that last part.
Indeed. Fuck yeah!
Yes! If anybody redeems it, you are dead to me. Just give us like 5 minutes, please. Fuck, shit, fuck. Yes.
So I'm gonna return to the motherfucking.
So apparently, damn it is a fucking swear word. Who knew that?
Ding dang diddly damn it, I didn't.
So I'm pretty sure I said frickin' at one point. It got reset. That's not fair. So we are free, freedom. Sorry.
Speaking of the person who's not free, so I turned to her and I said, naturally, upon discovering the scene and reporting it to, regrettably, Sergeant Nix was the only one nearby to hear my call for the guards. She remains with her late mother. Naturally, our first instinct was to consult with the Archmage about the clues we uncovered there in the office. And we have discovered that he is restricted from speaking about the stolen object, and that only you can free him from this obligation and permit us to receive the information we desperately need to find the dire assassin.
Well, Major, I thank you for the time that you have already invested into this investigation. But I'm going to have to politely ask you to turn it over to the proper authorities who can deal with it in a efficient but respectful manner. I very much appreciate everything that you've done, all of the work that you have put into this. But unfortunately, this is a little bit above your stature, so I'm going to have to ask you to...
I have spent the last hour trying to find any proper authority to turn this over to. The guard all appear to be mysteriously occupied. The Archmage has proven of no use to us, and frankly, I'm at my wit's end over the loss of my friend and dear colleague. You must permit us, we beseech you, to see this through to the end. The Colonel, with her dying breath, to Sir Domino here, asked that we all protect the melody. Can you at least elaborate on this charge which we have been given?
As I said... Yep.
Before we continue,
Mhm.
I am going to send my little homunculus inside the house to take a look around.
Okay.
I like
Um,
you.
Go ahead and roll.
Fiddlesticks.
You've started a war, Charlotte.
Listen.
This is your fault.
And there's such a little devil face in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Bloody Mary.
Y'all wanna throw hands? Okay. All right. Okay. This is yeah, we're good. This is fine. This is all
It's
great.
fine. We're fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's good. I am very calm right now. I'm entirely in control of all of my emotions.
Inside of her brain, a string of obscenities.
I'm in a glass case of emotion. I still haven't thought of a boon yet. So no, I can't have the boon be everybody gets to swear just one time without resetting the timer. No? Okay.
Oracle? Okay.
Can it actually be that? Oh!
Now remember, everybody, choose wisely.
Just bending. One. Okay, we get one free curse. So don't waste
It's
it.
not free. It's an if you slip,
I almost
get out of
wasted-
jail free
I
card.
almost wasted it by saying don't effing waste it. Okay, we all get one. We as a group get
Did
one
that
free,
count as a question? Yes.
one free slip up. Okay. Oh my goodness. Ha. Okay. Totally lost my train of thought. So go ahead and roll me a stealth check to see if your homunculus can slip through the doorway.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the stats on said homunculus. Okay, artificial mind. No, that's not it. Anybody know roughly where that could be found? The little stats for this dude.
Just use yours.
Artificial
Well,
mind, you said?
It has a. It's the homunculus servant. It's got a +2 to its dexterity.
+2 to its dex. Thank you very much. Okay.
It's not in
So I
roll 20.
rolled a 17, so that's 19 in total.
Okay. So that is versus. Okay. So essentially your homunculus just kind of arcs through the doorway and disappears into the interior of the house, completely unbeknownst to the magistrate who is standing in front of you. And so
if you don't
Yep.
mind,
not at all.
a little origami critter with 4 legs basically crawls out of my little table, run down my leg, and then between their legs, and off it goes.
Okay. So everybody else sees this small paper creature of sorts just kind of skitter across the ground and then disappear into the interior of the house. While the magistrate fixes Bovius with a very pointed glare and says, I can appreciate that you are in mourning, and it is only fair that I allow you the time to do so. I will
say
be
it.
sure to turn this investigation over to the proper authorities who have the rank to deal with this sort of situation.
And where are they right now exactly?
They can be gathered.
Oh, you better get
In
at it.
Elvish, I will say to the comely magistrate, greetings from the high Sylvan paladins. However, you do know of the tenacity of minotaurs, and I would recommend that you give us more of your time, and in light of the Archmage's loose tongue.
Greetings, cousin. I am aware of how bullheaded minotaurs can be. However,
slandered to my face, and I don't even know what they're saying.
That's the best part. You don't understand what she's saying.
It's like being in Chinatown.
I can understand how bullheaded they can be, but I assure you, this is best left to others. Do not look into interests that are not your own.
It has, and then I'll say in common, it has become our own, and I will grab the wrist of the Archmage and hold up the
listen,
ward. Answer for this.
How's it going, Betty? And, as I said, one best not look into secrets that shall remain secrets. I assure you, they are dangerous secrets. So I strongly suggest you all go back to having a very fine and fun celebration and let the proper authorities deal with this very unfortunate but very integral situation.
That actually sounds like kind of a good idea.
Is the door behind us closed?
No, she is standing in it though. And you actually go ahead and give me a perception check, because he did roll a stealth check for his homunculus. So you can go ahead and see if you see that his little friend has managed to skitter its way into the building.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, yeah.
All
You
right.
definitely see that whilst she has been distracted, something has managed to slink into her home.
Magistrate, the fact that you would even mention the word secrets when the colonel is laying dead assassinated really makes me question your integrity and your involvement in this. So there are no more secrets. Speak.
No. I will suggest one final time. Go back to the party.
I'm not really used to the law and order thing, but I think this is where we arrest you, right?
I'm sorry, on whose authority?
This seems kind of like treason.
We have a sergeant. We have a sergeant from the city guard here.
I believe that they were second in command
He's a
only
major.
to the dead colonel.
Major.
So that makes them in charge of the city watch, right?
Actually,
I mean, you're the expert.
to
This is what
gently
I
correct
turned
you,
to.
because I know you're not from here. Mr. Davidius here was on the verge of retirement this eve. Actually, as far as I understand it, you're no longer an active member of this military. So, unfortunately, you have no authority whatsoever to tell me
Strictly
what to do.
speaking, I was not formally discharged as the colonel when I went to receive my papers was lying on her floor, bleeding all over her carpet.
We both know that paperwork was finalized this morning.
I think retirement's usually voluntary, though.
Is it? Retirement is
tell
one
me.
thing. Being honorably discharged from the military is entirely different, is it not, Mr. Bovidius?
I'll look down at Fidget and I'll tell him she is not wrong. My legal status, assuming that the paperwork has indeed been officially filed prior to my receipt of them, is civilian.
There we have it. You do not have the
My-
authority to investigate because you simply lack the authority in this moment. So I suggest you let our dear Archmage go, as you have no authority to arrest him or detain him in any way, and habeas corpus is a crime, by the way. So I strongly suggest you let him go, return to the party as civilians. Otherwise, I will have to get the authorities involved, and they were best tasked to other things, as you all well know.
May I at least know to whom I am trusting the capture of this assassin? It will put me at ease to know that the investigation is in the proper hands.
Then you will be delighted to know that a Major Rembrandt shall be the one who will be filling the rather large boots that the Colonel has left behind.
A stony look comes across my eyes as I try to hide the fact that I'm not a fan of Major Rembrandt. I'm much more fond of Captain Monet. But I don't say that to her. I'll simply nod and say, "The gods bless his search."
I assure you he is well equipped to handle this task. Yay! Now get off my
Fuck yeah.
fucking doorstep.
And with that, I will, in Minotaur.
We're getting better at this, guys.
Yeah.
I've learned the trick is to just shut the fuck up.
You know, I've learned that I need to like edit everything that my brain is coming up with, because my brain's like, oh yeah, fucking. I was like, whoa, hey, no. I do have a filter. I just usually have to turn it on around kids. So just pretend that the game is full of children, and
I mean,
not that all of you are children. Don't.
I'm not sure if this will work, but can I try an intimidation to try and get some information?
You could certainly try.
You all might want to leave. Just telling the group that I don't want them incriminated in this.
Just to clarify, she did say that you need to let me go, so I would appreciate if you just kind of get your mitts off me.
I released
thanks, man.
the Archmage.
I'll grab him by the collar. Not so fast.
Wait.
Not so fast.
In Minotaur, I'll just say, "Fucking civilians." But it
I
comes
gotta
out
remind you that you are one. He responds to you. Say, might I remind you that you are
Wait.
one?
Who, the Archmage?
Ah,
He speaks Minotaur?
he speaks Minotaur.
That son of a bitch.
I mean,
Might I
yeah,
remind you that I'm getting used to it. Still in Minotaur. So all of this is just coming out to everybody as...
So he's just saying, like, "Rrrr," and he's like, hey, man, like...
Anyways, I will take several steps back to distance myself from whatever shenanigans they're gonna get into.
Same, and I will detain the Archmage still.
So I'm not sure if you heard, but you're supposed to let me go because you don't have the authority to listen.
Well, I'm making a citizen's arrest. Hold up, buddy.
I have no authority to stop them.
No, I was having a perfectly fine evening until all y'all just decided to. I mean, in the situation, I understand. Tensions are high.
I walk over and grab the Archmage's wrist. I look at the symbol. I'm like,
you like grab his wrist and pull it down.
yeah.
You Y'all are real
Oh, yeah.
handsy. I'm just saying. You know, this thing is called personal bubble.
I know how to get rid of this. We just got to cut the skin out. Fine.
Hey,
Let's just take him back to his house.
no. Hey, whoa.
I produce a dagger. I can cut it out.
I love that we're doing all of this in front of the magistrate.
I'm calling the magistrate's bluff. I would love to see us go to court and have our
Well,
testimony.
Oh,
that's
if you think
that's
for a
not a good idea.
second,
Mhm.
if you think for
She'll do
1
it.
second, I will not put you on trial. I will, and I will enjoy it. So, as you guys start
Put my dagger away.
openly threatening the Archmage, another individual. So we're gonna pause for a second there and just loop the tiniest bit back. Rendell, as you are in the adjacent office, you hear boot steps come out of the colonel's office and begin making their way down the stairs.
Uh-oh.
I'll get up from my book and poke my head out. Is it Nyx walking away?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Well, that's not going to be good, is it? I'm sure they'll handle it fine. I go back to meditating.
Okay, so as Rendell just lets her go by, we go.
I will take my book into the room that she just left, though,
Okay,
and sit down, hopefully on the less bloody part of the couch.
you can most assuredly do that. So, as you all are starting to sort of openly like threaten the Archmage directly in front of the magistrate, some of you turn to see that Nyx is kind of walking towards all of you. And the magistrate kind of looks at her and she says, "Sergeant, I was wondering if you could possibly deal with this." And Nyx just holds up a finger. And just silences the magistrate. She fixes her with a glowering stare before she says, "My mother's body has just gone cold. And nobody has showed up yet to investigate. Why? You're going to tell me what's going on, and you're going to tell me right now." And the magistrate kind of takes a step out of the doorway and says, "Listen, I understand the tensions are very high. This is a very explosive situation. However,
That's a
I
weird
promise
choice of
you
words.
that all of the proper authority will be taken, the investigation will be done, and your mother's assassin will be caught in due time. There are other things going on, and I'm not saying that your mother's death does not take precedence, because it does. We have only just discovered this now, so we can only start turning all of the cogs. I just simply ask all of you to afford us a small amount of patience. Is that too much to ask?" And she kind of looks at all of you.
I guess not.
How about this? If I cannot have this assassin found before the opening ceremonies have concluded, I will allow all of you to take over the investigation, and you can do it as you see fit. But until then, you will stay out of the bloody way and let the proper authorities do their jobs. You will not interfere. Do you understand?
It was your lack of
Do
diligence.
you understand me?
No, we
I
have
will not
begun the
be
investigation.
spoken to like
Herr
this.
Domino. Please.
I control
Emperors-
every person in this city, and right now that includes you. I have been very generous with the amount of patience that I've given you, but it is immediately run out. I strongly suggest that all of you back off and allow me and the proper authorities to do our jobs. Otherwise, I will remove you from the situation myself.
She
Do
has
you
offered
understand me?
She has offered us fair terms, Sir Domino. I see little choice but to accept them.
As you wish, Major.
And with that, I will turn to Nyx and cast her meaningful glance, like, we're not done here. And
She returns that look.
I will say to her, Sergeant, are you still on duty?
She kind of looks at the Archmage and she's like, I don't know. Am I? And Archmage is like, why the fuck are you asking me? I'm not. And the Magistrate says, if you require emotional leave, I'm sure I can talk to your commanding officer and have it granted to you. And so she reaches into her pocket, as she's speaking, and a couple guards kind of come around the corner.
Finally! I've only been looking for guards for 4 weeks!
4 hours later. Yeah.
4 hours later. And so she immediately turns to them and she says, could you please escort these civilians back to the rest of the party? Before the 2 guards just kind of square up and wait for you guys to move.
I'll look to Nyx and say, we will meet you at the Boar and the Broad? Question mark.
She stands there just thinking over the very obviously stupid thing that she wants to do right now.
Patience, my friend.
Yeah. See you there.
I'll nod and turn to my companions and say, I believe by now the price tags have gone away. Let us all have a drink and think about what has transpired.
Okay.
You coming
so
with us, Archmage?
I'm going the fuck home. He just like I don't need any of this shit. I was in bed. I was just minding my own business. Fucking.
I will shout in Minotaur, Vergos!
He like stops.
I'll flick him
Oh,
his
you're
ring.
in trouble now.
I'll flick him his ring.
Like he like turns and wasn't expecting to be tossed something, so he does that thing where he like and like fumbles it, and you hear like ting ting
Yeah.
ting ting, and it's like rolling across the ground. He's like, oh fuck, and like try to chase after it.
I'll utter a very satisfied laugh. And assuming the rest of my party is with me, I'll start making my way to the tavern.
I'm gonna walk up to Bovidius just ahead of everyone else. I need to speak to you about something.
Let us make some distance, and then say your piece.
But we need. I should talk to you first before we involve Nyx. Let's just say that.
Certainly. I believe she will need to go and receive her leave of absence from her superior. We should have some time before she rejoins us.
All right.
Let us simply be away from the prying ears of others.
All right. So let's. All right. So I guess we walk a bit faster.
Okay.
Basically, we get far enough away from the magistrate's house for the guards to fuck off.
Yeah.
So yeah, they kind of escort you far enough away, like to the edge of the party, and then they kind of just back off. Nyx immediately turns on her heels and just walks back towards the barracks.
As we're walking away from the house, I just go, and my little up back into my my little desk.
Okay.
Do I notice it this time? I don't think I rolled for it at the house.
I was entirely ready for you to just leave it in the house. But yeah, just you summon it and it returns to you.
What on earth is that?
My little secret.
Does your secret investigate others' secrets?
Only when other guards aren't around.
Splendid.
We'll talk later.
I look forward to it.
I give him a little wink.
I attempt to do the same, but Minotaur are not gifted at winking.
This is bullshit.
He doesn't wink, he just says wink.
No. It's a full-on like pained blink.
Wink.
Indeed.
Okay, so just quickly, Talon, you wanted to talk to Bavidius. So as everybody just kind of starts moving towards the Bora and the Broad, where you guys have agreed to meet Nyx at some point.
Yeah. Well, Bovidius, I must divulge. I am not here in the most altruistic manners.
Speak what's on your mind.
I was hired to perform a task pertaining to Nyx and her mother. Obviously, I did not do what happened because I was just as shocked as you were.
Who hired you?
I don't know. I received a letter. It was a lot of money. My orders were to kill Nyx and her mother.
And that is where we're going to end the session for tonight.
Oh, cliffhanger.
Nice.
God damn it!
So, thank you everyone so much for joining us for this episode of Melody of the Maelstrom. If you enjoy this game, be sure to check out any of the other fantastic games that we have available on this channel. If you enjoy Vampire the Masquerade, feel free to check out Valley by Night, which takes place on Tuesdays. And there's also, I'm going to pronounce it correctly the first time, Falskallen Nights on Wednesdays, because I said it wrong twice and I apologize. And then a Knight's Ransom that occurs on Thursdays. And we also, if you would like to join one of our games, we have a Saturday game, which is going to hopefully be up and running soon, and we're looking for players. So, we're just really happy to be part of this amazing channel and all of the groups of talented DMs and players that are on here. Shout out again to D&D Beyond and Effects May Vary as our sponsors. And a shout out to our Patreon Mama Bear. We appreciate you. We love you. Keep doing what you do. And we also have merch and everything available. And thank you guys so much. And have a good night.
Rah!